it is time for the moment that all of you have been waiting for. The one moment that I've been dreading. Hi internet, Orc speaking. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to, in my opinion, the dumbest vehicle I have ever made. The Cheep Charger. We're gonna be using dry bones just to kind of offset that sanity check. Back in the early stages of Riibalanced, like I'm talking version 2 days, version 1 days. Yeah, the original idea, the original concept, back when there was only a handful of vehicles. So in the version 3, there was actually only 6 vehicles that were, properly modded. Version 4, again, they weren't properly modded. Version 4, they just had like speed changes. That was pretty much it. They weren't actually tuned. So anyway, back in version 3, there were what we call the original. We'll get to that in a second. The original 6, which were vehicles that were the shooting star, the warrior bike, the standard bike. I'm gonna have to think a bit. There were a few more. The Zip, the I think the mock bike and the Cheep Charger. There was like a handful. There was like 6 vehicles that were the original guinea pigs of the Riibalanced mod. And this vehicle was one of them. And the main gimmick about this vehicle was we wanted to make a really fast car, but it forces you to delay drift. So for instance here, I'm gonna actually kind of kill my race here. If you turn, my speed drops immensely. You're not supposed to use the handling stat on this vehicle. However, everything else about it is, a standard car, except a little bit light and quite a bit fast, if that makes sense. It is a fast vehicle, but it is incredibly light and, especially with the warrior bike at the time being so mad. Yeah, you turn, you come to a complete stop. I'm not winning any races with this. I just want to clarify that. Because this vehicle requires you to have a lot of karting experience, which, I used to have, I don't have anymore. And it requires you to know lines, which I don't know. Ooh, DK Summit. Favorite track, least favorite vehicle. Let's see how this goes. So the trick about this vehicle to not completely botch your speed is to try not to touch the control stick, stay in a mini turbo for as long as possible. Try not to have things like that happen to you. Try not to get bumped like that. And delay drift. Delay drifting is really important with this vehicle. I mean, it's important with pretty much every vehicle. Back when I did tutorials, I think I made a video explaining like, ooh, the karts don't really use delay drifting. Nah, that's not true. Karts delay drift. Probably more than bikes do, for the simple fact. Alright. Okay, somehow I'm close. CPU struggle with the zipper section. I actually programmed the CPUs on this specific track to take proper lines. So they should be going up the half pipe here. Oop. Yeah, I'm running into that. They should be going up the half pipe like this. Yep, there he goes. They should be taking the single, which, again, why? I hate this vehicle. They should be taking the single, and they should also... Hello. They should also be taking the zipper properly, so they should stay on one side of the zipper. Okay. Yep, there he goes. Okay, that's... Ooh, that was sketch. That was very sketchy. And here, the zipper... You see how he just kind of stays on it? Yeah, perfect. That actually increased the CPU speed by like close to 10 seconds. Just those simple line changes. Lines are everything, chat. If you chat, I'm not streaming. Sometimes like when I get like lost and too many things are going on, so I'm like trying to commentate and also play at the same time, sometimes my brain reverts certain things into like autopilot, and that's one of those things I say. Anyway. Did he come here and first? I should be able to beat him. That keeps happening to me. I don't like that. I think my very first recording session, I did that as well. That's fun. That's Koopa. Maybe I could gain on them on this section, because they are not very good at this. Nope, I'm not gaining on anyone. Oh, hello. Kart sticks so well. I really like this track, despite the fact I hate this vehicle. Now, the story with this vehicle is not over. Back in version 3.0 days, we actually used to run clans, and there was a meme clan going on called the Fish Clan. So we have the duck, which is the quacker, and we have the fish, which is this bloody thing. And a lot of people in the early stages of Riibalanced, they all participated and were part of this clan. The Fish Clan, and so many of these guys, they were trying to get me to play this vehicle and tune this vehicle up, and I did, because they're my viewers. Oh, yeah, focus a bit. There we go. Perfect. All with a blooper on my face. Troy was complaining about that. I think a lot of people were complaining about the fact that the blooper is obnoxious. I feel like... Okay, this is gonna sound weird. I'm gonna compare it to another game. Back when Valorant first released, because I played a lot of Valorant, and I still do. Back when Valorant first released, you know, they did showcase trailers, they were showing off abilities, character abilities, whatnot. And everyone was like, oh, those abilities are so busted. And then when they actually got to play on, they're like, okay, they just look busted. They're not actually busted. That's how I feel about these things. Whenever someone sees like, oh, the blooper is OP as heck, you know? Or the green shells look busted, or anything looks busted. And then they actually play the game and they're like, oh, it's not actually that big of a deal. Sure, the blooper is strong, but I wouldn't say it's overpowered. That is coming straight from my head. Okay. Yeah, okay, this is one section that the Cheep Charger is not very good at. The trick is you always gotta stay on a drift. You delay drift, and you always stay on a drift. Or, you don't touch anything at all. That works too. Alright. Barely holds that line. Oh, not again. My instinct also is to throw all my garbage away after I get blued, and that's just not the right thing to do, because in this mod, the blue shell, you keep your item. Oh, that's not good. Lawboard. And he's gonna get a mad amount of speed, but it won't matter. Alright, cool. Normally I'd be excited to play Bowser's Castle, but not with this thing. In case you couldn't tell, I'm not a big fan of the Cheep Charger, I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys are. I don't personally enjoy the vehicle, okay? It's too small, it's too light, it doesn't fit me personally. And that's what I like about the mod pack. You could pick any vehicle combination. So for instance, there are people that really enjoy the Cheep Charger. I'm not one of them, but there are people who enjoy this specific vehicle feel, archetype, look, all of that. Look, don't forget looks. A lot of people are like, oh, looks, if you're a real hardcore gamer, don't matter. No, that's BS. No, I've played some of the most competitive esports games. Looks matter. A good-looking game is nice to have. I want to say it's a deal breaker, but it's very important to have. And that actually kind of leads me into the next thing, which is some people were complaining. Actually, back in the olden days, there was actually a lot more people. But you know, people nowadays, I guess, folks just I can't focus and try. People don't care as much. At least they've gotten used to it. But back when I first released Riibalanced version 3.0, when the HUD came around, people hated it. People really, really hated the HUD. And a lot of people don't really know why I made those changes. A, it's to give it some personality, give it some life. And B, it's because I wanted to make a HUD that looked good both on Dolphin and on the Wii. And that was tricky to do, so I decided to go with a flat. Because A, flats are easy to do, and easy to see on both console and on Dolphin. And it's also my art style that I use on the channel, so since it's my mod, I was like, okay, I'll give it a little bit of character for myself. So, to all of you guys who are critiquing the look of, the Riibalanced mod pack, the HUD and all that, you're critiquing my channel. Just be careful when you do that, Don't put yourself, especially if you're a content creator, don't put a target on your back. Alright. Let me see here. I'm forced with a huge breakaway. Again, okay, so in this case, I need to keep and hang on to the fib, which is good. Alright, awesome. Hopefully this thing could accelerate fast enough. The acceleration on this vehicle is actually kind of low. I mean, it looks good, because every vehicle in this mod has really good acceleration. This is... this is a little low. It's a little low. Alrighty. Let's see. That's not how you do that. At least I got the fast respawn. Oh, that's sick. What the heck? That was completely unintentional. That was cool as heck. So the blue shell actually went after my respawn body. That was not intended. That's amazing. I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I used to try doing that all the time. Like, fall off and get the blue shell to follow it. I was never successful. That was the very first time I was ever successful doing something like that. Keep in mind, it was completely unintended, but, it's cool nonetheless. I actually really enjoy, the idea of sweating the last lap. So instead of Riibalanced, we decided to change everything to 5 races instead of 4 races. And the reason for that was, so online, you could play a proper, best of 3, best of 2. And it's also an odd number, which is the way that it should be. So that way, there's no way to tie. Sure, you could tie other positions, which I am well aware of, but first place, there should never be a tie. Which, just makes sense to me. I mean, I guess there could be a tie if certain metrics line up. Ooh, where'd that come from? But it is very rare. Alright. So if you count it by points, then yeah, it depends on how you count it. If you count it by the point distribution, so first place is 12 points and so on and so forth, you could definitely get a tie. There's too many even numbers to make that happen. Oop, hello. But, ooh, I'm keeping this banana. Good thing I didn't just accelerate, because I would have eaten that. Yeah, I need Diddy Kong to actually kind of flub up. Deal with that. Okay, even if I beat Diddy Kong though, then... Oh. Yeah, I'm not beating Diddy. Both of those people I had to beat by like a wide margin. I'm only beating them by like a little bit. Okay, I'll take that. Second place, not bad. Considering I had such a bad drop on the very first race, I will... You know, that makes sense. It's been a while since I've seen a silver trophy. That looks so weird to me. You know, back when you play Mario Kart when you're a kid, you always get first place. I completely forgot what this even looked like. Alright, let's move on. Be sure to grab your copy of Mario Kart Rebalanced version 5 today. Be sure to join the Discord server for technical supports and how to install and have fun. Mario Kart Rebalanced version 5 available now.